those games. So, this is the asylum to my left. You will see it whenever I go around the corner. There's not a lot of time save within this game.
Alrighty, everybody, it's that time for our Silent Hill block. Let's give a round of applause for Abby's Corner playing Silent Hill Origins. It's going to be a real fun time, so go ahead and take it away.
Hello, everyone, and with me today I have the lovely Char Bunny. Would you like to introduce yourself, Char?
Hi, I'm Char Bunny. As was just stated. Yay! Excited to be here, looking forward to the run.
Yes, we are doing UFO ending, which means we get to use all kinds of New Game Plus items like infinite weapons, and we get to become the legendary Two-Punch Man. So without any further ado, in 3, 2, 1, let's get started. So, of course, in the regular run, Travis has probably the poorest stamina out of any Silent Hill protagonist. But because we're doing UFO, we can put on the Sprinter's outfit, which means we can run forever and ever.
Look at how aerodynamic we are now. This is peak physics for going fast.
Exactly. Also, we're going to be turning off our flashlight throughout the run because enemies are also super aggressive in this game. But for some reason, when you have the flashlight on, they're just like, what? There's someone beside me? Oops. However, the game likes to turn the flashlight on after every cutscene. So it's like, oh. Alright then. And we are almost into the town. And oh no, we're now in a burning house.
Oh no!
Of course, if you pay attention to the wall on the left here, you might notice a familiar face there for a second. You know, Pyramid Head, that Silent Hill 2 enemy that was only supposed to be in Silent Hill 2, but apparently became sort of like the mascot, so they just started shoving it in other games. And right now,
excuse you, this series has a bunny mascot as far as I'm concerned. Just gonna put that out there.
You're not wrong. To be fair, I also use that bunny mascot for my sub-badges, because of course I do.
That's fantastic.
Now, of course, we have Alyssa in our hands, who also just so happens to have Majora's Mask powers, what she does, because I have to somehow tie Zelda into Silent Hill every time. So, we're running through the burning house. Somehow Travis, who may have asthma, which is why he has the lowest stamina in the game, was perfectly fine for all that. But oh no, he has collapsed. So now we're on our way to the hospital because for some reason he thinks, oh yeah, totally, they brought her to the hospital, but you know, they kept him on a park bench. So it's only logical that she'd be in the hospital, right? Right?
Yeah, no, that makes, I mean, perfect, yes. Yep, sense. Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, even though this takes place in the 70s, this hospital is pretty empty and also, as we're about to see, in pretty poor condition. Now, I have no knowledge of how things were in the 70s, but something tells me broken windows in a hospital would not be acceptable. And of course, the one elevator ride that we take, and unlike every other Silent Hill where you can skip an elevator ride, we can't skip an elevator ride in this one. Such a shame.
We don't even have good waiting music for it. Like, game, if you're gonna make us be in an elevator, give us the little do-do-do-do-do.
Exactly. So we turn off the flashlight here so that the nurse doesn't grab us. Of course, this game is made in the mid-2000s, which means that QTEs are a thing. Yay, thanks Resident Evil 4 and God of War. So that can be a real pain and a real time loss for us. Also, you want to skip cutscenes as fast as possible because unfortunately in Silent Hill Origins, they count towards IGT. Of course, that is how the speedrun is timed, so we're going to try to go away from that as fast as possible. Also, Char and chat, I have a question for you.
Oh, question. Okay.
Can I offer you an egg in these trying times?
Thank you.
As we just picked up an egg, which we are going to need. And of course, the great thing about Silent Hill Origins is that there are no RNG puzzles, unlike Silent Hill 3 and Silent Hill 2. So it's a very comfy run. I would actually recommend this be the first Silent Hill game you pick up if you wish to learn Silent Hill, because especially with this category, because you do get the infinite stamina outfit, you don't have to worry so much about bosses, plus RNG puzzles. You do have to worry about, QTEs and whatnot, but, for like a starter game, not that bad. Of course, as I mentioned, for things that, cause IGT to pause, if you're in the menu, it doesn't count. It'll pause. If you're in the map, it'll pause. So you don't have to quite be like, oh my god, I'm in the menu, how long is this gonna take? Kind of thing. It's gonna be like, okay, we're good. Let's just, chill for a second if you need to. No need to panic when, looking for an item or something like that. Also, I hope everybody needs some toast because we just picked up a toaster.
Too bad we gave up our egg. We could have had an egg and a toast, but no.
No.
I will also
toast
say,
and eggs.
for anyone who isn't familiar with the term, IGT stands for in-game time. That means we're using the game's built-in timer to determine how fast we've gone, as opposed to RTA, or real-time attack, which is the timer that you see on screen, which is how fast we're moving in real life. So in case those terms are new to you, that's what they mean.
Yes, and now we have to do a puzzle to steal some eyeballs. So you have to put in the heart to make the lungs fit. You have to put in, I forget what that is, to use this because they won't fit. And then we get some eyes. Come on. There we go. And now we can get through the door to fight the first boss. Also a fun fact, 2 out of the 3 bosses become regular enemies. Because we only fight 3 bosses instead of, I think, 7, as you would in the other categories. There are 3 categories for this game. Any percent UFO, as I get QTE, and bad ending. The bad ending is the worst because you have to kill 100 enemies throughout the entire run. Isn't that just lovely? And there's no counter, so you won't know if they're actually dead. So it's kind of like, oh great, the eyes won't fit. Isn't that nice? There we go, we've got the eyes and the first boss, which is the only boss that we use a ranged weapon for, because it is also a boss that can potentially QTE us, because it can grab us because it just wants to give us a hug. So we hit the laser, it dies. I usually let it go a little bit longer because sometimes it can survive even after it's fallen, so it's kind of like, oh no. So we have picked up the first of 3 pieces. Technically there are more pieces, but because we're doing UFO, we're not going to see all the pieces, and the pieces really don't matter, though he's going to pick them all up anyway after each boss. So now we are leaving the hospital, and for some reason, a nurse named Lisa locked the front door, so we had to go through this door. Why they would lock a hospital door is beyond me. Something fishy is going on in this town, considering that fact, because also, Lisa's the only person we have seen in the hospital, and it just so happened to be after we've gone through crazy nurses, a straitjacketer, among other things, and now we're walking through the town.
I was about to say, I like how your barometer for something seems fishy here. It was not any of the abominations we've encountered, or the house on fire, or the fact that we woke up on a park bench. It's like, wow, this door is locked. That's how I know something's up right now.
Touché. And now we are on our way to the butcher shop, which is where we're going to meet the butcher, who is this game's version of Pyramid Head, even though Pyramid Head made a cameo in a picture on the wall. And we don't see the butcher at any point after that, and we're not even going to see him because I'm going to skip the cutscene. But he does something quite terrible, as we'll see after I skip the cutscene. Yeah, he kind of butchered that nurse, and it's going to get a lot worse when we come back through, because we will have to come back through after we're done with the sanitarium. That's right, we're going from a hospital to a sanitarium. Isn't that also lovely? As we see, the straitjacketers are out and very busy, as they are now everywhere rather than in a single room in the hospital. There are also going to be dogs. Oh, how lovely. Though they don't really super show up until after we're done with the sanatorium, and let's just say that this town has a dog issue. There's the first dog, by the way, just walking along, dragging its head. Very unfortunate indeed. And then getting in here is super easy. Leaving is a bit of a problem because the camera likes to really fight you even more than in Silent Hill 3. For those that don't know, most Silent Hill games have two control types, 2D controls and 3D controls. This game does not. I believe it's using 2D controls. I'm used to 2D controls because that's how I play Silent Hill 3. But the camera is so whack that it's like, oh wow, this is kind of a problem. Also, double doors are the worst thing because they still have a specific hitbox. So they still act like a single door, and it's just like, why wouldn't you just make it one giant hitbox? Also, the camera right here really wants you to pay attention to this map, so sometimes the camera will really focus in on that, and it may cause you some movement issues.
I like how his head turns too. Like, he wants to see this map, and we're like, no, dude, we got places to be, things to do.
Oh, don't worry, every Silent Hill protagonist does that. They will turn their head if there's something they can interact with, and it's just like, can y'all not do that, please? Pretty please, with the cherry on top? And it's like, no. And if they are turning their head, it means they will interact with something, be it picking up an item, reading a note, reading a wall, something, and it's like, so you have to be careful when mashing through things, because mashing does help you get through doors faster. And here we have our first puzzle, which is our first puzzle in the sanitarium, which is dealing with an iron lung. So we have to do 1 1 3 3 5 5. You can do it in any order. It just has to be those three specifically. So you can do 5 5 3 3 1 1 3 3 5 5 1 1. I wouldn't advise doing 1 1 5 5 3 3 because that would take probably the longest amount of time. Also, Travis sometimes has an issue picking up that key. So now that we have that key, we can head to the basement. By the way, I hope you're all ready to see a lot of back and forth climbing upstairs, because that's what the gimmick of the sanatorium is. It's going back and forth, up and down, a lot.
How do we not run out of stamina doing this? Like, I would get so much more tired trying to go up and down all these stairs than I would walking through a city.
It's the magic of the tracksuit. That's
beautiful.
All it is. Of course, the dogs are in here now. We will see lots of dogs throughout the sanitarium, and then after the sanitarium, it's like, oh hey, street is going to be littered with these things, and it's like, oh please God, no. So we're gonna climb to the second floor because we have a hydrotherapy appointment to get to, and it's very important to not be late for your doctor's appointments. Otherwise, sometimes your doctors will stop being your doctor. Oh no. Of course, there are 2 nurses here, and they will actually despawn once we're done in the hydrotherapy room. Again, sometimes the camera will want to mess with you, and it'll keep turning you around. And so we have flushed the key. We actually need that key, so we've got to go find it now. Of course, we're going to ICU 4 to activate the magic mirror power of going straight into hell. That is this game's gimmick. You use mirrors to head to hell, or the other world as it's actually known, but let's face it, it's pretty much hell. And here we are about to hear all about devil sons. Never about devil daughters, though. Only sons. Because... I've always hated you. You and your devil son. Very unfortunate. Also, that is supposedly Travis's mother. By the way, we're playing a trucker named Travis. So we teleport back into the real world, and always remember, chat, flush your public bathrooms, because that's really gross. the amount of pee that was in that toilet. And now we are off to grab another key in this dormitory. So we're going to go through the second door first and grab the key and then head out this door because basically it's, you know, just cutting down the hallway as we head here. And we're going to run into more nurses because of course we are.
I just like how that key was on its own little like platform. It was like this little suspended platform above the bed with its own little pedestal. It's like, here's your key. Like that's just such a nice presentation as opposed to having to fish them out from underneath the bed or something like that.
Very true. Also, I want to know who's putting these keys all over the place, because somebody has to be doing that. Every item is placed by somebody, and I don't know who. Also, with that hallway, you heard those footsteps. Don't run into those footsteps. Run away from those footsteps, because that's just a bad time, because not only are you going the wrong way, but you're dealing with a ghost. And who wants to deal with ghosts? And then we head to the left. Do not pick up that note. We do not want to pick up that note yet. And then we are going to pick up a shotgun, which we don't need, but unfortunately, it's blocking our path. And as we are activating mirror powers a little bit early, I should note that there is a note on the ground that he will interact with if you're not too careful. So that is something to keep in mind, that there is something that he'll read. He won't pick it up, he'll just interact with it and read it, and it's just like, oh dear. Of course, there's 2 dogs in that room. Also, one thing to notice is that you want to keep going straight. You can get very lost here, but you want to, you know, go straight for the most part. And trust me, once you get lost, it's very hard to find your way, especially if you're doing this from a speedrun sense, because you're so used to knowing exactly where you need to go, that there have been many times where I reset, because I'm like, I went the wrong way, where was I supposed to go? Reset. So, that is very much a thing. So there's the key that we flushed, and now we can go into the archive room, back on the 2nd floor. Like I said, be prepared to see a lot of running up and down the stairs, because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Maybe I'm just missing. Is there a reason we couldn't have just grabbed the key in hydrotherapy? Like, is there a reason that Travis felt the need to flush it down 3 layers of hell in order to get to it when we picked it up from a puddle on the ground anyway?
I have no idea. Maybe the bathtub is too big for him, because it kind of looks like you have to be like 7'5" to easily get inside. Maybe he didn't want to be soaking wet. I don't know.
Seems a little inefficient, but you know what? I'm not in this universe. I don't want to question too many people's decisions. I would probably be hiding on the bench where we started this game if I was in the game universe, so can't talk too much.
That is fair. It is kind of, what the hell's going on? So now we're heading into the archive room where there's going to be another dialogue between Travis's mother and a doctor. We're going to not hear most of the dialogue because we're going to basically use mirror powers. That's the whole purpose of unlocking this door, is to get mirror powers on the 2nd floor. So here we go. I had to. Please, what, doctor? Do the dishes, cook the meal, do the paperwork? What exactly do you need help with? As we cut off the dialogue, we're going to ignore that we could see the subtitle that what he actually says, because it's more fun that way. And again, going straight, don't turn, don't anything, just straight. And guess what? We're heading to the basement once again, and soon we're coming to Char's favorite puzzle, / everybody's favorite puzzle in the game, very soon.
I don't think I agree with that, but if we're gonna roll with it, sure. This game I don't think had a bunny. The next game does, so you can't pull that on me next time. For this one, I have not stated a preference, so okay.
I mean, to be fair, there's no bunny puzzle, though, so, haha?
Dang it. I need to pick a favorite puzzle for the next game way sooner, so you can't do this again. And if anyone doesn't know, by the way, Silent Hill does get a double feature in this event. We get 2 Silent Hill games back to back, so if you're a Silent Hill fan, you definitely want to stick around. Also, hi, Scream. Are you okay?
Yes, the screen kind of works. It's unfortunate. Luckily, we can put on the flashlight to help us see, but we need to turn it off so that the enemies aren't aggressive. And here is that favorite puzzle I mentioned, because who doesn't love a good creepy doll in a video game, am I right? So we're going to go yellow,
Yay!
green, come on, blue, blue, and red. Grab the key. We're now ready to leave the sanitarium as we have the key to go get the boss key, and then we become Two Punch Man. And of course, more straitjacketers. We're taking a risk because that one can grab you. Usually we're good, sometimes it can grab you though, and it's not good times when that happens. Sure, we won't take any damage but we do get QTE'd, which is kind of the problem. Oh dear. Of course, more ghosts. This is kind of the only area where the ghosts are. I'm calling them ghosts because clearly they are, because all we see are these neck braces or back braces, whatever they could be. So it's just like, definitely ghosts. And then we're running. And then we're activating mirror powers once again. A lot of activating mirror powers in the sanitarium. I do believe that it is also the longest section in the game as well. Also, if there are any donations, feel free to interrupt at any point. The Silent Hill games are kind of very chill runs as well. So don't like worry if I'm talking about things, because literally it's cool. So now we're back on the first floor, which is the final floor. We're unlocking doors, and we're going to go left now. Of course, there's two nurses in the middle of the hallway, but they're not going to bother us. And then we're going to perform a cancel, where we cancel his stand-up animation to go through the door. We pick up the final key, looks a bit culty, and then this music starts playing. Now, one thing about the end of the sanatorium, because again, it's very big, also I know I keep switching between sanitarium and sanatorium, is this music plays if you're going the right way. You go the wrong way, it stops. So long as you're hearing the music, also the music starts slowly progressing the further along you go. So that's also how you know you're going the right way. And we want red doors, basically. And like I said, if the music stops, you've gone the wrong way, and then it doesn't come back. I know I've mistakenly said that it comes back after a while when you start going the right way again, but that is not true. It will just stop, so then it's kind of like, good luck trying to find your way if you do get lost. So we've activated mirror powers here for the final time, and now it is time to become the wonderful Two Punch Man, the secret enemy of One Punch Man, as One Punch Man has nothing on Two Punch Man. Of course I had to work an anime reference in there, right? And
He only has half as many punches as we do. Ha!
yes, which means he's at a severe disadvantage. So we activate the cutscene, 1, 2, and always, you think you missed the first punch, but you're always gonna hit it. You just go 1, 2, dead. Also, hydrating during this run is also kind of difficult because there is very little downtime. Literally, you have 2 chances, and that's like after that boss fight for a brief second, and then after the final boss fight of this category, because again, we do need to skip cutscenes because they count towards IGT, unfortunately. Now, despite the fact that there is a running vehicle here, Travis does not get in the running vehicle. He takes the key from the trunk and then walks out, because of course he does. One thing I advise is to start taking the road before the camera change, because if you don't take the road, it can be a little difficult. Like I said, the game really hates you when it comes to the camera, so it kind of can get difficult. I kind of stopped there for a brief second so that Travis will exit through the gate, because continuing to move, the camera keeps switching back and forth, and it's like, can you not do that, please? I would like to continue with the run, if you don't mind. Also, we're going to get off the sidewalk because we have a dog on the sidewalk and it will hit you and it will be very painful. Also, you kind of want to keep a bit of a distance because they do a leaping attack, which they kind of have a bit of range on, so it's like, ow, please don't hit me. And like I said, we're just going back the way we came, so we're about to hit the butcher shop where something very unexpected is waiting for us. So do be prepared. So we've loaded in, and oh no, we've got a trail of blood. Isn't that just joyful? But what could have caused all this blood? Also, we've got some handprints. What could be happening?
It's an interesting interior decorating choice, to be
Oh,
sure.
look, it's
oh,
that
it's
nurse.
exterior too. Wow.
So yeah, he kind of went a little ham on that nurse corpse that we saw earlier. And now we're running through. Again, dogs are now plentiful through the streets, and don't worry, once we're done with the theater, which is where we're trying to head to now, there's gonna be more. This town has a real dog problem, and it's not very good. Also, we're coming upon the first enemy that has a chance to despawn, or I should say not spawn, or spawn in. It's kind of random whether he does. There he is. It doesn't really matter if he spawns in, because he's really easy to dodge, and we're heading into the lumberyard. And despite all these creepy sounds, there's absolutely nothing in here but Travis. So, yay.
I mean, Evelyn, that's still a little scary, at least.
Yes. It can be like, is there something in here? But no, there's nothing in here. It's perfectly fine. So we open the door. Also, fun fact about the sanitarium, the game will not let you leave it until you pick up the theater key from the table. Travis will just go, there's something on the table, there's something on the table, there's something on the table, and it's like, when I was learning this run, I was like, what table are you talking about? And then I was like, oh, this table. Oh, alright then. Now, of course, the game likes to give you a helpful hint of where to go, because obviously, very open town, with this trail of blood. It also likes having a lot of trail of blood. So this dog is looking right at us, so we have to kind of debate it out of the way. Again, if their butts are in your face, that is the best thing ever, because they can't hit you and they won't bother you, but if their heads are facing you, it means they will attack you. So we kind of want butts in the face as much as possible. Do with that knowledge what you will.
I was about to say, I'm not adding any commentary to that statement, so I'm just gonna let that one go.
Alright, so now we're at the ticket booth. We need to put our ticket in. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Luckily, also pausing on the screen doesn't affect IGT. That's the third thing that doesn't affect it. And for some reason, putting a ticket on the ticket booth unlocks the door. That doesn't make any sense, especially considering who's inside here, as we're coming up on a cutscene where Lisa is sitting here for a second, and it's like, oh, okay, and then she leaves. Lisa is the only character. Well, no, that's not true, because we also meet Dahlia, who is Alyssa's mom, who set her on fire. Who needs parents when they set you on fire? So great parent of the year there. So now we head on through, and a new enemy type has come as we get the demonic mannequins, marionettes, puppet things. Isn't that joyful? And
Yay, ceiling mannequins. That's what I wanted for my birthday this year. Woo!
and we grab the sun totem, although I call them tablets because they look like stone tablets to me, but they're called totems. I don't know why. And we're going to keep running, and we're going to try to get a note skip. So by mashing past the katana, because if you're mashing through the entire room and pick up the katana, you can skip picking up that note, which saves a tiny bit of time, and then we can continue on our way. If we had picked up the note, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but again, we want the shortest time possible, right? So here we go, dog is facing, and then we can just go through. And now we are coming up on a puzzle, or a glitch, that I didn't realize was a glitch. I was just like, whatever, but Char informed me when we ran this game a couple of weeks ago that it saves about 15 minutes and has been known for like ever.
So we got a sun totem, and a lot of times in games, if you get a sun, there's also a moon, and on that door there is a spot for the moon totem. But by simply leaving the room and then going back into the room, the game's like, you tried hard enough, maybe you couldn't find the other one. It just lets you through the door. It doesn't ask any questions. Not really sure why it works, but it does, and so yay, go speedrunning.
Yes, and I don't even know where to find the moon totem. Like, I have no idea. Also, a fun fact, when they are displaying their butts, you can kind of push them out of the way, which is kind of nice, because it's like, I really don't want your butt in my face, so I'm just going to push you away. And it works, and it's like, hooray. So now we're back in the real world, and now we can go awaken a demon, because that's what we need to do. We need to awaken the final boss of the UFO run, so that's what we're going to do. But first we need some lights, which we are going to get here. Whoops, come on Travis, don't do that to me. Don't run away from the door you need to go through.
It's a good reminder again that, we have the flashlight off because it makes the enemies just not notice us. So as we're running past things, looks like we're cutting it really close. We're actually much safer because we don't have the giant flashlight on our chest attracting everyone's attention.
Yes, and also there is a very, very funny thing that I'm going to bring up, or I think is funny, because again, that enemy will grab you because we're in a very lit room. So that is a thing. But in a moment here, you'll also, I'm gonna bring something up, but I won't bring it up beforehand, as we are about to do a puzzle that apparently involves math, but because we know the pattern, we're not going to use the math. I don't even know what kind of math the game wants us to do.
Please don't try this in school. Please do not try to speedrun your math homework. Just actually do the math homework in video games. Speedrun math all day.
Yes, so we need to do 500, 125, 750, and 250 to turn on the lights. So we're going to turn on the lights now. I've only screwed up this puzzle once and nothing explodes. So the demon is now awakening. It is very angry, very hungry. So now that we've awakened it, we now have to feed it before we can punch it in the face. So this enemy is just chilling in the corner, right? However, if you have the flashlight on, even though the light is nowhere near him, he goes, wait a minute, there's someone here. I must try to puke on them or hug them. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm just like, alright, whatever, game. It's fine that you just want to hang in the corner even though you can't see the light. Whatever.
It's fine. Everything's okay. Nothing's wrong. All of this is normal, right, everyone? This is what it normally looks like when you go to the theater. Just mannequins running around on handstands. Obviously.
Yes. And of course... Oh! We got the skip. I was not expecting to get that one, because usually I have to read a note to turn that on. Also, you have to wait for the noise to stop before going through, because otherwise the curtain won't be up. And if the curtain's not up, you have to go back through. But yay, we got a skip I wasn't expecting to get.
Yay, congrats!
Yay! And now the demon is getting angrier because we put a tree on his lawn, and he's just like, get this tree off my lawn. And then we teleport in to grab a key, and we're going to hear some Shakespeare. I'm sorry, everyone, that we have to hear some Shakespeare, but be not afeared. The aisle is full of noises. And that's about as far as I get, because I'm not hearing the rest of the dialogue, because we're hearing the teleport noise.
I really like this puzzle though. I think it's cool how you get to like set the little scenes and then jump into them and jump back out. And it's just kind of like, they're hell, but they're really cute, like kind of fun.
I could do without the cutscenes. And
that's fair.
And because it does turn on the flashlight every time, and also because cutscenes, you know, eat up IGT, it's like, no, can you just let me do the things and then I can go? And then we're going to grab the lever. and get out of here. Also, we get more enemy despawns as two marionettes leave, but we get a dog instead. You're gonna want to go to the right wall. If you don't go to the right wall, there's something blocking the left, and so the dog will hit you. Very, very dangerous indeed. And then we go through, and we go through again, and then we go activate the lever, which is in our inventory, which makes me think this wouldn't work, but hey, you know, video game shenanigans, am I right? And then we're going to pull the lever, Crunk! Wrong lever! And we fall to our doom. And I also did the wrong thing, so we definitely pulled the wrong lever, Crunk, and we died. Oh no. But now the demon has his food, and is fully awake, and now we must do battle with the demon. Because of course we do.
Can you remind me again why we fed the demon? Like, I get that this is necessary, but I also don't. Why are we making a stronger enemy that we now have to murder?
Because reasons.
Alright, fair enough.
Alyssa needs the pieces so that she can fight her mother and ruin her mother's plans. For some reason.
Ooh.
Which really
And we
makes
got-
things very weird, because it's like, wait, isn't Alyssa a villain in 1? So why does she be protagonist in 0, and then somehow 7 years later she's like, oh no, I'm evil. Like what?
I liked that evil laugh though, that was great.
So now we have a lot of dogs. We kind of want to stay away from the sidewalks again, because dogs, also straitjacketers, are kind of running around. Also, I give things weird names. Also, we got giant dogs now, so isn't that just lovely? They got bigger. And
I don't think that's lovely, but you know what it is? I want to remind everyone that we're raising money for charity. The link is in chat. Please make sure to donate. You can tell us your favorite Silent Hill memories. You can just say hi, whatever you'd like to do. It's supporting a fantastic cause.
And then we're turning, and we need to go into the store. Also, we just passed the second enemy that can despawn, which is another straitjacketer. It's really nice when that happens. Yay, we got another note skip. However, I can't get the key without reading the note. Oh my god, I got the key without reading the note. Let's go. That's the first time that's ever happened.
Let's do it.
Woo! Yay, but we need to walk up here to grab a key, because this key is very important, because otherwise we cannot get the, we can't get the
UFO ending?
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, the ending. I was like, oh no. And then we need to go this way, and then we need to go this way. Again, dogs all along the street. You kind of want to get a bit of a distance, otherwise we are doomed, because they will hit us and it will hurt, and we don't want to be hurt. Now we can go on the sidewalk, because now we have to go through the general store, which is looking kind of rough these days. Don't you know? So...
That is so many signs for the front of that store. It's just like,
yes.
all lime green too.
Yes, because they're closing. They really want you to know that they're having to close down. Don't you know? Alright, they have closed. And now we have one more enemy that has a chance to despawn, which is the dog in the alleyway. Depending how it goes, we might have to jubate it into attacking us, or we can push it. This dog, if we have to push it, is very fun, because it's the only one that jumps. So I'm going to push it, it jumps, and it's like, thank you. And of course, as I said, all bosses kind of become regular enemies, as we see the demons are now littering the streets. Isn't that
Oh no!
fun?
No, it's not. I mean, it is kind of cool. I do like that they're bringing back the bosses, but again, if I were on my casual stroll through Silent Hill, which thankfully I am not, this would not be a good day, I think.
Very true. And now we're in the motel, which is the final area of this run in particular. We're going through... Also, I believe the little boy is Travis in the past, and that's his father next to us. We do kill his father as well, though we don't kill him specifically in this run. That's more of the other two endings. So it's like, haha. Alright, and we're going to try to juke For whatever reason, going like that, they don't hug even though they still know we're there, so I don't understand why, but I'm gonna go with it because I don't want to get hugged or puked on, don't you know, because that's a time loss thing. Very, very bad.
I mean, if you saw this dude running at you and juking, I would not want to get in his way. That's maybe my personal opinion on this one, but I would, if I moved to, I'd stand back. Yeah, man, you go right on past.
And now we are in hell for the last time. Because of course. We're going to actually need to turn on the flashlight for the first time. Purposely turn it on because there's a dog that unfortunately is never showing its butt to us. So we have to make it kind of debate it into an attack. And here he is, and we have done. And also a new enemy type appears, which is whatever the hell that thing is. Isn't he a lovely boy? And we leave. And we leave.
And we're getting close to time as well, right?
Yep, it is time, actually. Woo! Damn it, not a PB! No! And
You're really close, though.
and then actually I'm not quite PB territory. I'm about a minute 6 off of or minute 7 off PB time. So unfortunately the reason I skipped the ending is because it still counts IGT, and it's like, so I'm always skipping it, and I'm like, no, darn it. And because I'm like, am I PB pace? Am I PB pace? And I have to skip it, otherwise it doesn't let us do it. And so it's like, But that was Silent Hill Origins.
You can still see the UFOs in the background, just showing up out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
I
Now,
mean,
hanging out though.
all the scenes you see here are exactly the ending. It's just there's no dialogue, which is Travis is looking for his truck, and somehow, even though he left it just outside of town, it's like, yo, hey, we're here. And then they're like, it's on our planet. And he's like, can I drive the spaceship? And the alien goes, you drive stick? And that's the end.
Honestly, Travis has been making some questionable decisions all game. So, yep, meet aliens, ask them about your truck. Sounds logical so far.
I mean, this is also the man who ran more than a 5K in less than half an hour, so, you know.
He has a
True.
tracksuit, though, so we're good.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh. I don't think anybody had anything to say.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you guys have anything you guys want to plug for now, or if you want to just move on to the next game.
I think we can wait till the next game, because we're still here.
That's fair.
Just in case
All right.
anyone's watching it back, do you want to do a quick shout out to your socials?
Sure, in case anybody does miss, you can follow me on Twitter at Abby_Brander. That's ABBIE_BRANDER. You can also follow me on Instagram at EveryVillainIsLemons with 2 S's on the end, and yes, that is a SpongeBob reference.
And what a reference it is. Thank you so much, and we'll be right back with Silent Hill 3, and it's also going to be a really nice run, I think. So everybody, sit back, relax, grab your drink, and we'll be back in a moment.
Flame power attack thing.